All right, guys, let's cover Business Manager. This is one of the most important tools that you're going to end up using as a Facebook marketer and as an agency. So, a couple of things that I quickly want to lay out about Business Manager. Firstly, the purpose of Business Manager is so that you can manage lots and lots of client assets. So what I mean by assets is their Facebook pages, their ad accounts, their pixels, their product feeds in one centralized place. So the alternative, let's say for example, we didn't have Business Manager. Here's what would happen. Let's say you were working with 5 different clients. In order to go from one ad account to the next, you'd have to log in and out of Facebook, 4 or 5 times between all of those different accounts. It would get really, really messy. There would be passwords floating all over the place, and it would be, a pain. So essentially, Business Manager allows you to seamlessly access all of those accounts, all of those pages in one place under one login. It also allows you to give access to your team without actually having to give passwords away. So your client doesn't have to give you any login passwords. You don't have to give any login passwords to your team. So it's a much, much safer and much more professional way of running things. You will definitely, without a question, need to be using Business Manager to manage your client accounts. So for those of you who are just getting started out with Business Manager, this can be a little bit of a confusing or foreign concept, I should say, to wrap your head around. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out of this. So this is essentially my Business Manager for the agency, and you'll see we have all these different ad accounts here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to log out of here, and I'm going to take you right from the beginning. So here's how you're going to create your Business Manager account. Now you can go to business, let me spell that correctly, .facebook.com. So notice how this is actually a different URL. You'll be able to access Business Manager through Facebook normally, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. But anytime you ever want to access your Business Manager, all you do is simply punch in business.facebook.com. It's a really, really simple URL. And it's going to take you to here. So if this is the first time you're creating a Business Manager, simply click Create Account, use your email address. Now, ideally, if you're going to set yourself up with an agency, create an email address for the agency, right? Don't use your personal Facebook profile account. Because you're essentially going to own this Business Manager, and if you ever sell your business down the line, you don't want your personal information necessarily tied to this. So preferably create a different email address for your agency, create a profile for Facebook using that email address, and then use that information in here for your Business Manager. So So as you can see here, it actually needs you to be logged in before you can create your Business Manager. So here in what I was saying is create, a dummy account for your agency using a separate email address. Log into Facebook. So let me go through here. And then what it's going to do is ask you to name your Business Manager account. So this is the name of your agency. So my agency name. You're going to go continue. And then you just complete those details essentially. And simply follow these steps. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to take you through step by step. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm logged in now, so I'm actually going to access my existing Business Manager. I'm not going to create one. So essentially when you create one, what you're going to see is a screen like this, except obviously you're not going to have any accounts down here, right? Because you haven't imported anything yet. So you're just going to see a screen like this and nothing down here. What you need to do is you need to add all the assets. So again, by assets, I mean ad account, Facebook pages. Pretty much those are the main two things you need to concern yourself with right now. Potentially down the track, when you start working with e-commerce clients, you'll add product catalogs, and you can also add your team as well. So what we need to do is any accounts that you have access to at the moment that you want to pull into Business Manager. So let's say, for example, you were working with 3 clients and you have login details to access their ad accounts. Well, what we need to do now is we need to bring those ad accounts into the Business Manager. So what we're going to do is click on this little hamburger on the top right, top left, not top right. We're going to go Business Manager Settings. And you'll see on the left-hand bar here, these are essentially the assets. This is what I was meaning by assets, right? So we've got your team, pages, ad account, apps, pixels. You can share pixels across accounts, product catalogs, Instagram accounts, shared audiences. I don't want you to get too concerned with any of this. Let's just focus on these 3 things up here for now. So you're already going to be under here because you created the account, but essentially to add people from your team, all you do is go add people and type in their email address. It doesn't have to be their Facebook email address. It can be their work email address. So for example, it will be, cam@8loopsocial.com. So that's actually his work email address, and that's how I'm going to invite him to manage assets under the Business Manager, the agency's Business Manager. Now for ad accounts down here, what we're going to do is to add an ad account, we're going to simply click on here and we're going to select request access to an ad account. Now you'll notice here that there's actually 2 ways to get access to an ad account, a client ad account. The first way is that you simply get them to tell you what their ad account ID is, and I'll show you how to find that in a moment. So you simply get them to say, it's a string of numbers, this is my ad account ID, and you'll put the ad account ID in here. The second way is to essentially tell them to go through these steps and add you into the ad account. But in order for them to do that, they need to have a business manager. So what you'll find is that a lot of your clients actually won't be set up in Business Manager. And if they don't have that, this is sort of a bit of a write-off, right? So it's easier to get them to simply tell you what their ad account ID is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this looks like in a minute. So let's go in here. Let's open up this ad account here. So let's say you go and log into your client ad account. What you'll see is up here on the top left, there'll be a long string of numbers, and that's essentially the ad account ID. Sometimes they will rename their ad account, so this could have been called like Cat Howl or something like that. But essentially this is the ad account ID. So it's always up here in the left-hand button or whatever we call that. So when we go back in here, let's say we're going to request access to that ad account. We're going to punch that in, and now you'll see that Business Manager is asking us, well, what type of access do you want? Do you want analyst access? Do you want account advertiser access? Or do you want to become an admin? So here's the difference. The ad account analyst, that's what you're going to request access to when you're running an audit on that account, right? So if you're ever just doing consulting or if you are auditing a potential lead, you're requesting access as an analyst. You'll be able to see the data, you'll be able to pull up the reporting. You simply won't be able to change anything. So you won't be able to edit campaigns or make changes to what they're running. Now, ad account advertiser, pretty self-explanatory. It means you're going to run ads out of that account. This is what you're typically going to request access to. On very, very rare occasions, you will access it as an admin. Pretty much the only occasion you need to do that is if you ever need to add payment information. So if your client has no idea how to add a credit card to their ad account, Sometimes, occasionally, we've worked with clients where they're super uncomfortable with Facebook. They have no idea what they're doing. And we actually have to go into the ad account and add their payment details. Then we actually need to be an admin. You need to be an admin to edit payment details. So most of the time you're going to be requesting access as an advertiser and very rarely as an ad account admin. Now, when you go and click confirm, the client is going to get a notification on their end that you have requested access to that ad account. They simply need to approve that request. And then what you'll see is it's going to say pending, and then once they accept it, you'll see that, it doesn't say pending anymore. Now here's a very important step, guys. Just because they approve the account, you're going to be sitting here going, well, how the flip do I access this account? And so it's very important to add yourself to the account once it's been accepted into your business manager. So once you've imported that account and it shows up under here and it's not saying request pending, you need to basically, so this is what you're going to see. Once it's approved, it's not going to say request pending anymore, but it's simply going to look like this, right? And there's no way to access it. And you're going to be clicking on everything and you're not going to know how to edit this ad account or manage it. And so you need to actually add yourself to this account. So you're going to go add people, and then your name is going to be right here. And if you've added staff, they'll show up in this drop down. And we'll go add you in, and I'll just add Cameron back in as well. And there you go. Now look at that. All of a sudden, now I can see this, and I can click on here, and now I can edit the ad account. Perfect. Okay, great. So that's essentially how to access the ad account and then how to add yourself to the ad account so that you can edit and manage the account. Now, a very important part of this, guys, is that you still won't be able to launch ads for this ad account until you also have access to the page, right? So remember, if you want to run ads from a specific page, you're going to need access as an advertiser to that page. So you're going to go under pages. So essentially, when you're ready to start running ads for clients, you not only need access to their ad account, but you also need access to their Facebook page. So it's the same principle here. It's slightly easier because you don't need the ID. So all you have to do is simply go in here and type the name, let's say Cat Howell. And then again, you can go in here and go page advertiser. You might want to do page moderator if you're going to be managing the comments that are happening on ads, right? So community management. So typically we'll ask for page moderator, and you'll send that request, and again, your client is going to see a notification on their end saying you have access, requested to access the Facebook page as a moderator, and all they have to do is approve it. So one of the things that I do want to talk to you about Business Manager is that what you might sometimes see is when you try to go add more ad accounts, if it's a brand new Business Manager, Facebook is going to give you a notification, saying, sorry, you have exceeded your limit, your Business Manager ad account limits. Now, as you can see here, we've got lots and lots of ad accounts, right? Lots and lots of ad accounts. So you can have a lot of assets under Business Manager, but when it's a brand new Business Manager account, it's by default, Facebook will, just I guess to protect spam or bots or anything like that, puts a limitation just to prevent fraudulent activity. All you have to do is get in touch with Facebook. There'll be a link in that notification that comes up. Get in touch with them, and they typically lift that account limitation within 24 hours. So don't stress if you see that. That's actually really normal. It's going to happen. It typically takes 24 hours for them to lift it. The second thing that might happen is that before you can request access to client ad accounts, you probably will want to import your own business page and your own ad account as well. So claim those under your business manager, and this makes your business manager a lot more credible in the eyes of Facebook, and it will allow you to request access to your client ad accounts. So this is pretty much Business Manager in a nutshell and the back end of it. Now I'm quickly going to take you back into Facebook, and I'm going to show you how we would access Business Manager just from the normal Facebook page. So let's go to the Cat Howl Facebook page. And you'll see here when I'm on this page, actually right on the top now, it will say Access Business Manager. This is happening because I'm currently logged in using the email for the agency. So the email that was used to create that Business Manager account with. So this is not actually my personal Facebook logins, right? To access my personal Facebook, I'd have to log out of here, and then let me show you. I'd have to log out of here. And then I would have to, access my personal profile, which is this one. So this is actually the agency one. What is the password? There we go. And if I go back in here, there you go. Now you'll see it's right back there. Now I can access this page and manage it through Business Manager. All of a sudden now I can see the messages and the notifications. And it looks like I should probably address those soon. There's a lot of them. So I'm just going to show you what happens when I'm in my other ad account, my other Facebook account. Sorry, I'm not trying to confuse you. Cat Howl. And notice here now when I'm logged into my personal profile, there is no option to access it, right? Because as far as Facebook is thinking, well, I don't have editing access to this Facebook page, right? That is being done through the other profile. So that's essentially how you can access Business Manager. You can just go to the actual page as long as you're logged in through the profile that has access to that Business Manager, or you can simply go to business.facebook.com, and I'm logged out of it, so this is another Business Manager. This is the second one. And this will bring up Business Manager. So I feel like I've said Business Manager a lot, but that's essentially how to use Business Manager. So any questions whatsoever, please pop them in the support ticket and I will get right back to you. I know it can be a little bit confusing to wrap your head around, but essentially a couple things that are really, really important for you guys to remember. Absolutely need a business manager, 1000%. It's not even a question. You will need to request access to the ad account, and you will need to request access to the Facebook page. You will then need to add yourself to both the page and the ad account in order to actually access those through Business Manager and edit them and manage them, etc. You can access Business Manager through business.facebook.com, or you can access them through the actual Facebook pages that are being managed through that Facebook profile login that you're logged on to. So that is essentially Business Manager in a nutshell.